So in the middle of the night, Google says, "Hey, we're done with the October. We're done with the October core update. Don't tell anybody." Just lasted under 14 days. It actually outlasted the spam update, which is interesting, especially considering spam was released a day prior. If you're like me and your website got thrashed by the September HCU, you were probably looking towards this core update, hoping that somehow it would restore some small sliver of the traffic that we lost, that it would give us signs of life or, glimpses of hope. And I say to that, phooey, because it's not really doing much yet. Not to say that it won't, but not yet. Now, there are some people online that are saying they are seeing some slight upticks in some of that traffic, especially the websites that got hit real hard. I'm going to actually show you some of my data here in a second that might lend a little bit of credence to that thing happening. But as of right now, we're not real sure what's going to happen. What was interesting with the HCU was, for me, after it ended, or they said it was over, it took about another week for my numbers to stop dropping. It just kept going and going and going. And I had said at the time that I thought what would happen is just because they announced that the update is done doesn't necessarily mean the dust has settled. So I'd say maybe the same thing here, at least theoretically, that when the core is now done, that it's going to take a little bit of time for the dust to settle, especially because it's been back to back to back with 3 different updates going on. Now, I don't think there's any sort of reversal coming from the core. I think we gave up on that some time ago. I think what we've been hoping for is that the core would have come in and essentially then reinforce what the HCU was trying to do, basically turn it into a true 1 + 1 now equals 2. We'll see if that actually ends up happening. Let me show you a couple of things, though, that I think are interesting. So earlier, whenever I said if your website got thrashed like mine, just for context, here's my thrashing. My behind still hurts. I went and got the twig, Daddy, and you spanked me bottom too hard. I got nailed. Actually, I lost up to about 95% of my traffic. I was averaging 1,200 to 1,500 clicks a day. And at my low, I got down to 100 clicks, which is still unfathomable. If it had dropped down to double digits, I think that I might have done a proverbial pant pissing all over myself. So, but what's interesting here, though, is that if we look at just like the last, let's say, 28 days and get a little bit more close-up view, that thing I said earlier where people were mentioning a slight turnaround, from my low, I came up, 36 clicks, which is still like 30-something%. But I was down to 100 clicks a day. So it's a big percentage, but a minimal amount of clicks. But whenever you're down to 100 clicks a day, all upticks are good upticks. So a little bit of, what they're saying, some other people saying they're seeing something as far as increases. I'm seeing something similar here. Now, that's not to say it's because of core. A lot of us are spending more time looking at our websites now, and we're looking at them through a different lens than we were before. We're trying to make them better, like better structure, better user experience, better content, better navigation. Like this, if we start seeing an uptick, it's going to be hard to know. Is it because the core did something, or is it because we're just operating differently now because of what happened to us during the HCU? One of the things I mentioned on my last video was that I have been tracking my daily queries through Google Analytics to see each day how many queries did I gain since yesterday and how many did I lose since yesterday. And I do that through my Google Analytics. You can connect your Search Console in your analytics and then do a query search right here. And I just do 2 days basically at a time and ask ChatGPT to analyze it and tell me. So since September 20th, as far back as I was able to get my data, you can see here there's just a ton of red each day. So I highlighted the day in red if it was a day where I lost, or a green if I gained. And you'll notice it's a lot of losing here since September 20th. Minus this one green, which was only actually a gain of 8 total queries over the loss, everything else was bad. In fact, some of these were really difficult. There was one here, like this one here, I doubled the amount of queries that I lost versus what I gained for that particular day. And we keep going, and it's just a bunch of red, until we start seeing a little bit of green. And what I really kind of wanted to show you here is over the last several days, it's all been green, right? And decent numbers, 461, all triple digits. Some of the previous greens were double digits, right? But they were still okay. I was happy to have them because I was tanking so hard, I needed to see a little bit of green. So the fact that I've had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 straight days of more queries gained than queries missing since the previous day, that's a pretty good sign to me, and hopefully a sign that my traffic might have a chance to come back. So people are seeing the articles. They're showing up now in the rankings where they just simply weren't before. Even if they're number 70 or number 60 or whatever, they're still showing up there, and they were not before. So good signs, I think, there for my website. Now, one of the things I wanted to mention here was I had talked about this particular keyword. This is a keyword that I had been ranking for pretty consistently over the last 6 months in like 1 to about 4 range. It was my top traffic article and my top commission as far as affiliate sales article as well. When the HCU hit, it dropped it down to like number 30, and then it went up to about number 14 or 15, and then a week ago, it completely disappeared off the SERPs. Nowhere in the top 100 at all, and I didn't keep looking beyond anything past that. And so it has come back here just over the last 24 hours. In fact, if I scroll down, it is at number 30. Where are we at here? I'm just looking for red. Here I am, number 30 something. What's interesting too is the picture. Actually, I refreshed it just a little while ago. The picture keeps adjusting between this one and another picture that I've got. But what's interesting about this too is it's great to see this back, like honestly, because it's a sign that my stuff is starting to return at least into the top 100, and I'll take it at this point. What's interesting is earlier I was looking at this, and I typed in, or I was going through, I was just kind of flipping through, and I saw this article, number 11 by CNET. It's their highest article, at least on this list. And I thought, well, let me just keep going and seeing what else is on this list. And as I scroll down through here, by the way, look at the crazy amount of ads that Google is putting in here now. It's incredible, just like rows and rows. Anyways, so what I found was that as I was scrolling through here, I found 5, let's see here, I am number 28. And it's a different picture. What are the odds of that? So a lot of movement still happening. But CNET had 4 or 5 total articles, the exact same article ranking in like the top 60 rankings. I don't know why, but it was the same article over and over. And I thought, man, why is that one article from CNET taking up 5 or 6 ranking slots in the top 60? It seems insane. And what was weird, they were all like number 11, number 21, number 31, I think, and then it skipped to 51. They're all something 1, which seems way too coincidental to be accidental, if you know what I mean. So I just want to show you that some of the stuff I am seeing previously lost is now returning. I've also seen a little bit of movement on my DR. It popped up to 22 for some reason randomly yesterday. And I think my UR, if I remember right, let me see here. I think it had popped up and now had come back down. Let me get rid of my traffic here. So yeah, both of them had popped up to, we had a 22 and a 10. And then let's see here. So then it went to 21.9 and now it's back to 21.10. So I've seen a lot of jumping here too, which it's a lot for just a few days. Usually it's been pretty consistent for, it seemed like a week or two on end, but obviously a lot of movement just here within the last, let's see here. Yeah, a lot of movement here within just the last month since all these updates happened. Doesn't mean a whole heck of a lot because there's no traffic still, but just kind of interesting. So that's what I wanted to share with you guys, kind of what I am seeing here, seeing some signs of hope, seeing a little bit of traffic come back. But the main thing is I'm seeing those queries start to come back, which again, I don't care if it's ranked number 50, 60, or 70. You can't rank high if you're not ranking at all. So seeing some of these things returning into the SERPs and seeing them get impressions through keyword searches, really excited about that. So my name is Rob. I started this channel just about a month ago to share what I had learned with you about blogging over the last couple of years because, look, I'm just some random dodo from the Midwest. I'm not an SEO whiz kid. I'm not any kind of smarty pants. I'm just some guy that likes to work hard and enjoys blogging. That had earned me about 441,000 clicks to my website over the last 12 months. And as you can see, about 20 million total impressions. So I started this channel just to share the things that I was doing as a guy that's not an expert in the space to get this traffic. And then the HCU hit and changed a lot of the stuff that we're talking about. So, I'm going to be talking more about the HCU, the core updates, and then we're eventually going to get back around to those things which I did to build my website up. And of course, getting this traffic back, I'll be talking about the different things that I'm doing to my website, the different things I'm seeing out there to try to get myself back up in the top 10s. So if you're just a regular person like me that likes blogging, that had traffic, that wants traffic, that has a hole to dig themselves out of now, hit subscribe. There's a lot more videos on the way. So I'm going to get back to work. Oh, by the way, one more thing. One of my most recent articles is actually ranking in the top. I'm getting a decent amount of traffic on it. In fact, let me look over here and see. It's a side note here. I got right here. Did the FDA ban peptide therapy, which I am on peptide therapy? I wrote this just within the last few days, and it's probably my top traffic article over the last probably 3 or 4 days. So new articles seem to be doing okay for me, or at least this new article is. So anyways, that's it. Hit subscribe. We'll see you on the next video. We'll keep talking about all these updates and how we are going to dig ourselves out of the hole, and we're going to get our traffic back. Peace out.